What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and this morning we're going to be talking about the full list of maps and modes, plus even more for the launch window of Modern Warfare 2. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because we're very close to 100,000 subscribers here on the main channel. Really appreciate it. Also drop a like and turn notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, Warzone Mobile, and any other future Call of Duty as well. I want to thank all of you guys for the immense support on all my campaign coverage, which was fairly different from my usual content and also different from what everybody else was probably doing when early access did begin. Instead of streaming, I decided to go ahead and record and upload all raw gameplay for every single mission in the campaign itself, including the post-credit scene, the full movie, and even some Easter eggs that you guys may have definitely missed. I have more campaign coverage on the way throughout this weekend and throughout early next week, but I do have some news videos I wanted to get out the way as well for those out there that maybe aren't up to date with the latest news. Now, I also want to remind you guys that for the rest of October, my G Fuel code Dynamite will provide you guys with 30% off any order on the website itself. Then starting next month, my code will be permanently boosted to 20% off all orders on the site moving forward, with new products and other products on the site also occasionally being 30% off using my code. So I'll keep you guys posted with that, but take advantage of that opportunity for the rest of October and pick up any flavors that you might be running out of or flavors that you just haven't tried yet. Really appreciate that from G Fuel. But with that being said, we have a major report from the usual suspects, starting with the Ghost of Hope. We have the confirmation that we're going to be launching Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer with 11 6v6 core maps and then 5 battle maps. So the 6v6 maps are as follows. We have Greensburg Hotel, Museum, Mercado Las Almas, Turak, Crown Raceway, Al Bagra Fortress, Zarqua Hydroelectric, hope I said that right, Santa Sena Border Crossing, Farm 18, Embassy, and then El Asilo. Now, most of those maps I just listed were playable in the beta already or over at the COD Next event, so you guys are familiar with some of those, but not all of them. I'm fully aware of that. Some of those are brand new that we haven't seen much footage of, but for Ground War, we have Syed, Seraph Bay, Santa Sena, Zarqua Hydroelectric, and then Al Bagra Fortress. So you'll probably notice that some of those names on the 66 list are also in Ground War, and I believe it's as simple as, okay, sections of the Ground War maps are being turned into 6v6 maps. That's our launch experience. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, well, what about Grand Prix? Well, I mentioned a map called Crown Raceway, and according to leakers out there, people out there that data mine content, they've already posted images of the new version of Grand Prix that is going to be available at launch. Backs up the recent rumor that the legal issues surrounding Grand Prix have been resolved. They just have to rename the map itself, and now it's called Crown Raceway, and even the images and artwork for the map are different. So it's unclear if they changed the layout of the map itself from what was originally a 1-to-1 to the actual Grand Prix racetrack to now something that's still similar but different enough to where they can get past the legality behind the experience itself. Not sure what happened there, but I'm very excited that this map is in fact returning for the full launch. I was disappointed when we didn't get to play it at COD Next or during the beta. I'm like, wait a second, that was the first map they previewed when they first started teasing multiplayer, so it's shocking that that happens to be the map that gets canceled or put on hold or whatever the case is. I'm glad they didn't waste development time on the map itself, and it's still coming out in some way, shape, or form. Gave me huge Black Ops 2 vibes when we ended up getting the preview of the map itself. It looks fantastic, and with the way I already like multiplayer, I know for a fact the map's gonna play very well when the game does fully release. Now, if you guys are like, wait, 11 6v6 maps, that's it, when Vanguard had 16 on top of the 4 Champion Hill maps, bringing us to a total of 20 maps altogether for launch. I know you guys are thinking, and here's what I'll say. Quality over quantity, and looking at Vanguard's launch window, a lot of those maps were not well received. Most of those maps also were not well received for even the competitive side of that game's multiplayer. So launching a game with 16, 20, 24 multiplayer maps doesn't really mean much if the maps aren't received well. And to my understanding, at least from my experience playing the beta and looking at what the community was saying, none of the maps during the beta were received poorly, at least from what I could tell. You guys might disagree with that, and that's fine. Feel free to drop some replies down below in the comments. So far, the maps have been received well. So if we really end up getting 8 to 10 really solid maps and there's like 1 or 2 iffy ones, that's cool. Hopefully we don't get any maps at launch that are absolutely abysmal, unplayable, just unfun to the point where everybody skips it whenever they see it in a lobby. Hopefully all the maps are solid enough, and I think they will be because they've already listened to a lot of feedback from MWII in terms of map design, so I have no doubt in my mind about the map design being pretty sharp for Modern Warfare 2. Obviously in terms of communication and fan feedback, they still haven't really answered much about the mini-map or too much about SBMM or Dead Silence. I get that, but all that aside, in terms of maps only, I think we're in for a good launch window. Now, I also want to remind you guys that it's already confirmed Season 1 dropping on November the 16th is bringing us a fan-favorite multiplayer map into the game. The game isn't launching with any remasters, so I guess that's fair, but it was also confirmed that Season 1 Reloaded, coming out December 14th, is also going to bring in a fan-favorite map. So as of right now, we have rumors like Favela, Shoe House, I think Shipment will probably pop up at some point, so it's unclear if the only new multiplayer maps we're getting for Season 1 are remakes. I mean, if that's the case, that's fine. I think especially for a map like Shoot House, which everybody out there is going to want to play on for camo grinding or maybe Shipment, I think that's fine for Season 1, but I'm really hoping that every new season after that does introduce us to a brand new map at the start of a season, then brings in a remake towards the mid-season update or something, or even just a minor update in between the start of a season and the mid-season. That's what I'm hoping for, because what I don't want to see is just a surplus of remakes throughout the year if we're going to end up getting a greatest hits pack next year anyway, according to recent rumors that suggest that we're going to get nearly all fan-favorite Modern Warfare 2 maps from 2009, on top of some other remasters from even the Treyarch and Sledgehammer catalog. If that's the case, then let's get the least amount remakes as possible during year 1 and save all that for year 2. That's the way I look at things, but if you disagree with that, that's totally up to you. Now, we also have the list of all launched multiplayer modes for 6v6. We of course have TDM, Free-for-all, Domination, S&D, Headquarters, Prisoner Rescue, Hardpoint, Kill Confirmed, Control, and then Knockout. So those are the launch modes for 6v6. Obviously, you'll have your Ground War, you'll have Invasion. Everybody's aware about that. And then you look at Warzone 2, DMZ, Raids eventually coming out. There's a lot on deck already for this game within the first month and a half of releasing. That's exciting. And obviously, recent rumors do suggest that Gunfight's also coming during Season 1, along with ranked play. So Season 1 is only 3 weeks after the launch of this game. It's not that far. So if you really can't wait for Gunfight or ranked play, then please be more patient. But the way I see it too, I think Season 1 Reloaded is going to be really important for adding in modes like that. I think Season 1's launch is already packed as it is with a new battle pass system with progression, then Warzone 2, DMZ. There's already enough coming out at the start of the season that's massive enough and free to play that I think they could definitely save a lot of the other extra game modes and multiplayer content for the mid-season update coming out before developers go away for the holiday break. Now, along with that is a bit of an update to the menu glitch I covered in a video yesterday. It was a very funny glitch that got found where if you were just at the main menu with the keyboard plugged in, whether you're on console or you're on PC, if you hit F6 on that menu, it would bring you to the multiplayer selection, showing you your loadouts, gunsmith, all the camos. A very strange bug that luckily we all had permission to post about. Nobody was getting strikes for talking about that information. So Charlie Intel even wrote an article saying that a new update went live for Modern Warfare 2's campaign last night, and it was only on PC. So that's why I'm wondering if that glitch is still accessible on console. It's probably not, but they said it removed the ability to access the firing range and gunsmith to view weapon camos early. It also added this screen asking if players would like to upgrade to the Vault Edition if they didn't have that pre-ordered already. So I'm not surprised that got patched. I'm just happy nobody got a strike for talking about an in-game glitch. Really happy to see just how much more improvement we've been getting with Activision and YouTuber transparency and really making it clear what is and isn't okay to talk about. With that, if you guys want to see what happened with that glitch, I have my video linked down below. It's kind of a long one. We went through every single confirmed weapon for launch, and we talked about all the camos, all the field upgrades, streaks, everything there is to know about the multiplayer for day 1. But do keep in mind with that video, the day 1 patch for MW2 has not gone live yet, so all that we went over could still be subject to change because that day 1 patch might drastically impact some elements of that menu that we saw. So we'll have to really wait and see what does come out on day 1, but I'm sure a blog post coming out in the next couple of days will also clarify what to expect on October 28th. Now, what's really crazy though is images have popped up of what looks like holiday camos or blueprints already being planned out for Christmas, Valentine's Day, and St. Patrick's Day. So leakers out there were pretty happy to see that Infinity Ward is definitely ahead of schedule with the game, at least on the cosmetic side. That's what I'm happy about, because if you look at a game like Vanguard, for example, you could definitely tell there was some major plans for the game, and it looks like the budget and the real support for that game really ended after Season 1 did. Season 1 had a pretty big Christmas event, not as good as maybe previous Call of Duty Christmas events, but it was big enough that warranted its own roadmap, in-game events, challenges. After that, it was just dead silence, no pun intended there. Valentine's Day got a really minor update that was only playable through Champion Hill, and then St. Patrick's Day had this whole event planned out, but it just never released. There was bundles planned that got scrapped and so many other things. So I'm happy to see that they're already banking on Modern Warfare 2 doing so well that they're planning out these holiday themed bundles or skins and rewards. Hopefully we get some more events that you can actually take part in, whether you're in MP, DMZ, Spec Ops, Warzone 2. Hopefully we get all of that accessibility with the upcoming year. But the last thing I'll say is that the good old Honey Badger is back in Modern Warfare 2. The weapon has a brand new name, and footage of the Honey Badger itself is already up on YouTube, over on Twitter. It's everywhere. I'm not going to show that specific footage on screen for obvious reasons, because with the glitch that we actually got to take part in yesterday with the menu, you weren't able to select the Honey Badger, but data miners, leakers out there found a way through that and started using all these unreleased weapons and camos. I'm not going to show that stuff because that got DMCA'd on Twitter itself, but the stuff that we were able to access in-game legitimately through just hitting F6 on our keyboard, that stuff was fine to show, just to clarify. But I'm so happy to see that a bunch of content, weapons, cosmetics are coming back from Call of Duty Ghosts, even the Spectrum camo. I'm a big fan of that game. I know it's a bit of a hot take, but I'm really happy to see that they're revisiting things that did work well for COD Ghost and reintroducing them here in Modern Warfare 2. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the confirmed full list of maps and modes for the launch window of MWII multiplayer? How do you feel about the fact we're getting 2 remakes during Season 1? And what else do you expect for the multiplayer before devs go on Christmas break? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.